What's up, y'all? Welcome to another review by Ryan, and a very happy Friday to all of you. It is Friday, September 9th, and I hope you all are doing well at the time that you find this reaction in good spirits and good health. It is always tiring having to react to this damn show. But I welcome you back to another reaction of Rent-A-Girlfriend Season 2. In this reaction, we'll be reacting to the 11th episode of this show. This is the pre-finale. This is a 12-episode season, which does mean that the show will finally, thank goodness, end next week. The title of today's episode is Guide and Girlfriend, and for any of you that saw the trailer for this episode, you know that this episode is once again based around Sumi. So, last episode really, as I said, is created the revelating moment that I've been waiting for in this show. The moment that will determine if the show finds a way to just edge a 6 out, or if I fail the show with a 4 and I never watch the show again. And the reason for that is because Kazuya is about to go through his biggest test as a person yet. Now, we all know the many reasons why Kazuya is quite possibly one of the worst MCs of this past decade. He's spineless. He finds a way to create an awkward situation when there's not even a reason for a situation to be awkward. He always has the worst timing when it comes to statements he makes. And above all, he does not contribute anything to this circle of girls that he has around him. And this is a very important subject here that I really want to nail I really want to nail it in the head on. I was talking with my friend about our frustrations with this second season and our frustrations with Rent-A-Girlfriend as a whole, as a franchise. And it really does, putting Kazuya and everything about this anime aside, it really does come down to the fact that all the fan service and the passionate kiss that happened from Ruka last episode, and even the distressing situation that now poor Chizuru finds herself in once again. This poor girl can't catch a fucking break in this series. What it really comes down to is the author really wrote a poor story. This story suffers from absolute poor writing. It really, really does. There is no reason for Kazuya to be this insufferable. There just really is no reason. And it would be one thing if Kazuya was insufferable, but he was actually making genuine progress and he was actually helping these girls truly move forward. And I'm not talking about whatever probably is about to happen in this episode with Sumi, because I've already said and I've vocalized it several times that I feel Sumi is a absolutely amazing and beautiful girl that is in the completely wrong show. She would have been better off in something like Komi Can't Communicate or something like that. But putting aside the fact that I'm sure she's going to be happy with whatever he does this episode, and I really do hope that he's a good person. He always seems to be decent around her compared to the other girls, but you know, it's just one of those things where I truly do not believe any of the girls, even Mommy, if Mommy actually would get her shit together and stop having her head up her ass all the time, I genuinely don't believe he contributes anything to anybody. Now, we talk a lot about some of the words that Mommy says and some of the actions that Mommy does, but I continue to say, as much of the community continues to say, that Mommy is a plot device, and she is a positive plot device in the means that she moves the story to its inevitable conclusion, which we can hopefully assume will end with Chizuru and freaking Kazuya actually becoming a couple. Of course, that will probably take 6 seasons, which I certainly won't be watching all those seasons for. But she hasn't really lied about the things that she has said in regards to how Kazuya acts, in regards to how Chizuru acts, and in regards to how this whole process was. You saw how she reacted when she found out that Ruka was his girlfriend, and you know, some of the things that she said and she thought, and you know, quite frankly, yes, she is a very possessive snake, and you know, she needs to move on with her life. Some of the things that she said during that moment wasn't entirely a lie, and you know, stuff like that, me saying something like that will probably cause me to lose 10 subscribers, but that just is what it is. Do not misunderstand. I hate Mommy to death. She is the absolute worst character in the show, but I do not deny for a fact that there is a purpose that she serves, and she exposes something very major about not only the characters and especially Kazuya in this show, but how poor this whole fucking plot is. And and again, I keep saying this to y'all guys, I really don't like to cuss so much in my reactions, because I do want to kind of keep this family friendly, I guess. But any of you that's watching this reaction of this show is not family friendly. This show is an absolute train wreck. So you got to forgive me for the cussing. But this brings me back to Kazuya and just his contributions to the lives of these girls. He causes nothing but stress and anxiety probably for Chizuru, even after she realizes that she has affectionate feelings for him and has opened up the door multiple times for him to show them. She is so stuck in the world that she's in that she does not realize that he is such a bad choice to like. He's just a terrible choice to like. She has worked so hard this season, and I really want, I talked a lot about my best girl Ruka, which obviously the star of this entire season truly has been Ruka, but I don't really give enough accolades to Chizuru. And the last episode really made me sensitive to the accolades that I feel she does deserve. She has tried really hard this season to be top tier, to be a good person to Kazuya, to try to keep to her what she's trying to accomplish with her acting, which if you all remember, the whole purpose that she wanted to be able to do that was so that her grandma could be able to see her. And now we know that she's not even going to get to that point because her grandma is going to probably die at the end of this season. And that's going to be absolutely crushing. And this girl gets cucked every single time she's on screen. She cannot catch a break. She can't catch a break with her family life. She's about to lose the only person in her family that really is left. She can't trust her friends because her friends she doesn't feel comfortable enough to be able to expose what it is she does because they don't really seem to be the type of people that she would be comfortable with. And any of you that watched the alcohol episode, you'll know that they seem fine, but they could definitely be not the greatest influence when it comes to Chizuru and what she's trying to do right now. So she's not comfortable with them. The only person that she truly 100% is comfortable with is fucking Kazuya, and he makes every waking second that she's tried to just be normal around him, to just open, to just kind of let things just kind of go with the flow. And she's really been trying to give him the little notions here and there that, hey, I'm interested. Me and my friend are pretty confident she would long have given up the rent-a-girlfriend stuff by now. She's even said that, she wanted to move on from it and everything and stuff. And if he actually got his head out of his ass, I'm pretty confident that he would actually accomplish getting her and not have to do this rental crap. It's not even about the rental stuff anymore now for Chizuru. But it's just this girl has not been able to catch a break once this season. And it's depressing, it's disgusting, and I feel terrible for her. And I feel terrible that she wastes her time on Kazuya. And then don't even get me started on Ruka. Ruka is such a good girl, and yes, she can be clingy, and yes, there are certain things about her personality traits that I know not everyone is cool with. But Ruka is a good girl. She's a good-natured girl. And at the end of the day, she has found herself sucked into this universe around this waste of space and yes, it may have started with just because he helped her heart felt very, her heartbeat was going crazy when she got near him and realized, oh man, this person actually might be something. But those feelings have long since graduated from just that. And she truly is in love with this man now. And if that kiss and everything that she said in the immediate aftermath wasn't any type of note of how she feels, let it be very clear that there can be no misunderstanding that she is absolutely faithful to him, and he truly does have an obligation to let her go. He has a moral obligation to stop this madness. I would say while he's still ahead, but it's already too late now. She gave up her first kiss, and my friend again made a very good point. She gave up her first kiss after she was already ready to sleep with this man. So it's just, she has really opened herself up to someone that doesn't even know his left from his right. The same man that when she came over, instead of him just, giving into his carnal desires or something, he goes in the bathroom and jacks off while he has this smoking hot girl, Ruka, sitting right here. And it got Ruka all self-conscious about, is she beautiful enough? Is she cute enough? Is she sexy enough? This and that. Yes, you are absolutely amazing. You are stunning. It's just this guy is just not worth any of y'all time. So it's just frustrating there. And then, with Sumi, again, I've said this time and time again with Sumi, it's just, she's in the wrong universe. And I always do look forward to seeing her, but I genuinely still can say I don't really understand her purpose in this show. So, we're at a stage now where if I had to be honest with you guys, it's not looking very likely like the show is going to pass this season. And as a matter of fact, if he messes up anything with when Chizuru ultimately has to deal with the loss of her mom, if he does something this season, outside of already trying to blow the deeds that they weren't actually a couple to the grandma on her freaking deathbed, if he does something like that, you know, the show gets a 4, and to be fair, guys, you probably won't see me in future season reactions for this show, because I'll just be done with this show. I'll watch snippets on YouTube. I'll continue to declare that Ruka's my best girl, but it's just one of those things that this show, there are so many shows in this genre with MCs that may be insufferable that at least contribute something. And unfortunately, to date, I have not truly been able to ascertain what it is that Kazuya contributes to anyone at all. So that's kind of my pre-thoughts here, and we're just going to see how this episode ends up playing out from this point forward. So it is Friday evening, so since it is Friday, as you guys know, this is the video that I do my weekly rating checkup. For those of you that are watching this reaction for the first time, if you are not interested in talking about the weekly ratings on the popularity boards, please click the appropriate chapter in the description to skip to either my reaction or my post-reaction thoughts. So as always, a big thank you to all of you who voted in Anime Corner and Anime Trending, which is the two that we'll be talking about. And Anime Corner is pretty decisive. So, you know, I've been saying this vocally throughout the summer season that from an original standpoint, Licorice Recoil was really proving that it could very well be the best show this season. And I think that even though my number one show y'all hate on Anime Corner, and obviously in that case Licorice Recoil will be my number 2 show, but from an original non-sequel returning one, it is my number 1. Licorice Recoil was voted with almost 10% of the collective votes for the number 1 spot. You guys know we had a really heartwarming conversation, a really tense but heartwarming conversation that ultimately transpired between Mika and Chisato. She kicked everyone out of the cafe, and she doesn't want them going through all the stress that they're about to go through to try to find a way to save her and to help heal her heart. And ultimately, there was a very, very deep conversation that happened between her and Mika, which she basically said, even if it's true that they both did not have the best of intentions for her, that she loves them both equally because they are both her dads, and without them, she would never even have had a chance to live to start with. So for everyone who's watching Licorice Recoil, you know that the show absolutely deserves to be at the top this past week. It was a very emotional episode, and you know, at this point, we're now in Endgame. There's 3 more episodes there, and I'm pretty confident that when the season is over and the dust settles, that Licorice Recoil, at least from a non-sequel standpoint, will be your number 1 show for this season. And the rating on Mao has just, again, been completely superb for this show. You guys are loving it. I'm loving it. And it's very nice to see that this is beating out many of the heavy hitters that did return this season. In number 2, we did have Classroom of the Elite pop all the way back up to number 2. So you guys know that in Classroom of the Elite this week, Kanojo has now separated himself from Kei, given the circumstances of everything that's happening and the war that he's about to go through, especially since his dad has now surfaced. And between his dad surfacing and the declaration that he made to Kei, Classroom of the Elite fans know that shit's about to get really real. And I, for one, absolutely cannot wait. Again, this has been a show that, despite the fact it's had its animation woes this season, it has been a top 10 show for me this season. I've enjoyed watching it every single week, and in that show, the best has yet to come. In number 3, Call of the Night. So what an interesting episode this was this week. It wasn't a number 1 show episode this week like it was the last week and a week before, but I will say the Cafe Maid, or whatever it was called. I'm so sorry, I'm completely forgetting the name of the cafe now. Oh, Cafe Vamp or something like that, which of course would stand for vampires, I would assume. Was a really crazy episode. It was a really nice episode. We got to see in that episode, you know, what can happen when, you know, when your self-esteem starts to get beat down if someone comes and they kind of one-up you. And we got to see kind of a wholesome resolution to the situation that happened this week's episode. It was another strong episode. And Call of the Night has truly been the shocker of one of the shockers of this season for me. It's been an incredibly enjoyable show to watch. Vermilion Gold, as you guys know, Vermilion Gold has gone to hell really quickly. And we are now in the little world of what was the kid, which was the kid Vermeil, her vampire. So, well, before she became a vampire. So we had a really big episode this week. A lot of things are moving with the plot now. And it was your number 4 show per Anime Corner. Engage Kiss is depression. Wow. Engage Kiss is actually depression right now. I don't even have words enough to explain how I feel watching that show, primarily because of the fact I did not expect that the story would get this serious and this dark this quick. Well, not even this quickly, because it's been a slow burn, especially when we found out that his father, the person who raised him, was actually lied and played himself, amongst other things. And the story of Engaged Kiss has really been more than just the great kiss scene that everybody saw in the first episode that was all over social media platform. It's actually been a really strong show with a really strong story with characters that you can't help but feel bad about. I didn't really care much for his girl that has been his right hand that, he signed his agreement with. I didn't really feel bad for her at all because I felt that Ayano got really, really cucked over. But I felt terrible for her. You could tell that she really felt awful about what she has done, that this man the shoe is literally nothing but a shell of himself now. And it was just a really depressing episode, and you guys really did like it and could say that it was one of your top 10. So I will say that, I haven't always agreed with Engaged Kiss being a top 10 show this season, but the last couple of episodes have definitely changed the game for it, and it has definitely been a very strong show to watch. In number 6, My Stepmom's Daughter Is My Ex has continuously been an enjoyable show for all of you. This week's episode was definitely no different, and also my girl Higashira, wow. That's all I can say. I absolutely love seeing her on screen, and I really do feel that she's one of those characters that actually has not only made this show better, but is also kind of moving things along with Yume and Mizuto figuring out what the hell they're actually going to do when it comes to their still lingering affection for each other while having to accept that they are now step-siblings. In number 7, a show that I have not watched yet and haven't watched for the season, but I truly am looking forward to watching when I get a chance. I probably won't be able to watch it until the fall. Shadows Hell Season 2. You guys are really enjoying it. It went up 1 spot, and it went into the number 7 spot with 4.32% of the votes. Number 8, The Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. What a week. What an episode. The show has actually been one of my feel-good shows of the season. I have to really thank my friend that recommended this show to me because, this was a show that probably would have gotten looked over or I would have watched it in the fall like some of my other shows I'm going to have to watch are. But nothing... Well, you were equally prepared and also not prepared for the events that transpired. And we were reminded that Yakuza is in the title of this show. And for those of you that watch it, you know that watching our girl get hurt all of us. And it was a really emotional and painful episode. And it was a reality check that things could go downhill really quickly in this show. And I can't wait to see how the last couple of episodes of this season are going to play out. So if you aren't watching Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting, do not let the title fool you. The show actually does dive into several different types of elements that do exist in real life Yakuza, and we are now getting to the point of that show that shit's really hitting the fan now. So, in number 9 is Summertime Rendering, a top 10 repeater, and has been in the top 10 for almost a majority of the last 6 months. So, Summertime Rendering continues week after week after week to execute the near flawless performance. It's a show that I did accept I'm not going to be able to fully watch until the fall when I have to take a break from reactions. But I will come back in the winter and I'll definitely let y'all know how I felt about Summertime Rendering as a whole. And then topping off the list at the bottom in number 10 is the 4th season of Overlord with 3.76% of the votes. And yes, my friend gets on me every single week for not having started the show yet, but again, I haven't even watched the first season. I have a very long Overlord road to go before I get caught up, but that is another one that I hope to watch during the fall. So that is your top 10 via Anime Corner. I hope your show did make the top 10 via Anime Corner. If it did not make the top 10, I'd still hope that you enjoyed whatever the show is that you are watching for this year. And then to do the comparisons, we will put up the top 10 for Anime Trending. Anime Trending was a little bit of a shakeup here, particularly with Licorice Recoil, which actually fell all the way down to number 7. Very big difference from how Anime Corner is doing. So you're definitely starting to see the shift of sorts now with how people are voting in Anime Trending compared to how they're doing with Anime Corner. But in Anime Trending, in the top spot was Call of the Night. It ended its second week at number 1. Now remember, this does release on Sunday, meaning it does not include this past week's episode. Number 2 was Shadow's House Season 2. And number 3 was Engage Kiss. Number 4, my number 1 show of the season, is Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun. All hail Fapata and the hell that's coming down. My goodness, what a crazy episode. Just a wild episode in Made in Abyss this week. Number 5, The Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. Number 6 is Vermeil in Gold. Number 7 was Licorice Recoil. Number 8 was Classroom of the Elite, the second season. Number 9 was My Stepmom's Daughter Is My Ex. And then ending in number 10 in both Anime Corner and Anime Trending is Overlord, the 4th season, as a re-entry. So I, again, hope you guys had a wonderful past week of anime watching, and I hope you enjoyed everything that you were given. And as we start to slowly but surely approach the end of the summer season, I hope for great and outstanding finales for all of our favorite shows. So with that said, I hear my food timer going off, so I'm going to go take my food out the oven real quick and make sure it's good. And then after that's all said and done, I'll pop back in. It'll be a split second for y'all, and we will start the reaction for Rent a Girlfriend, Rent a Trash, whatever you want to say. Be right back. All right, guys, and I'm back. Again, the title of the episode is Guide and Girlfriend, and we're going to see if he's going to be any level of decent this episode, as I'm sure he looks into how to be a good person to Chizuru and everyone else now that things are really starting to hit the fan. Let's see if he actually impresses me, on top of the fact that he's going to be having another date with Sumi. Let's go ahead and get this episode started in 3, 2, 1. Grandma, me, and our battle, what women want when they're sad. He's looking at how to be a decent person for once? I see. I mean, being that it's you, I don't know. Oh boy, who's throwing rocks? Okay, so it was Chizuru. That's helping her with her practice. Do better. We're almost at the end of the season. Open your ears. Listen, don't make Chizuru have to repeat herself. This girl's going through too much. Don't make her have to work. Don't ask no questions. Just go. And we know you've worked very hard. Yes. Because not only does she have to deal with her grandma, she has to deal with your ass too. Yeah, let's not go into details about what happened at the party with that ugly ass tie. Ah, yes. Yes. Yes, these girls are all just doing great things for each other without even realizing it, while you're not moving anywhere. But let's see how this date goes. I don't know, just be decent. Stop asking the question. Just be a good person and just... I don't even want you touching Sumi, quite frankly. Just go on the date, and we'll deal with that when you get back, because I don't need you being wishy-washy with Sumi. Like, good gracious. Knowing this girl gonna be trying her best too. Why does he look like that? Greetings, my child. Here he goes. Yelling internally already. We haven't even started the episode. What? We're like 3 minutes in? Just be normal and say, hi, you look good. Or whatever. I don't know. Let's see how this goes. Honestly, I just want Chizuru to have one day in this show so far where she's not having to deal with a load of BS. And of course for my girl, Ruka too, but that would require him to tell her that this needs to end. Wait, wasn't Sumi's episode in episode 11 of the first season too? Sumi in episode 11 seems to be special. But at least we've seen Sumi several more times than we did in the first season. So, progress there. Yes, a uniform. No. Thank you. Please just be normal. I mean, being that you just had something similar, I mean... I swear, her voice actor in this show has the easiest job. Just talk with her. Oh my goodness. That's right, because she saw y'all. Yeah. He's so fucking awkward. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, you put 2 plus 2 together. Look at you. Good job. Oh my. But you already said you do, so there you go. Yes. So please just be normal and enjoy this date. You know, you could. Look at you taking initiative over this waste of space. I mean, I'm glad someone is, since you can't guide yourself on any date, but you can keep having these internal tantrums. That is weird that that's in a freaking aquarium. Yeah, I have little faith in you don't. Why is she sitting on the floor? Why is she on the floor? Oh, it's going to be a show. There you go. Ah, penguin show. And the Penguin's running the show. Hanami. Then just go with the flow. You clearly understand. Oh my god. You clearly understand how she is. So just be natural and normal. Make sure she's doing fine. If she looks dehydrated, offer her something to drink. And just talk to her normally. It's fine. I mean, neither of you are talking, and all of your talking has been internal, and we already know that she has a talking issue. So I don't know. Say just talk out loud, and just oh my god, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying. I promise you, I'm trying. I mean, that's fine, and she probably enjoyed it. It's the most that you've talked since y'all been here. Yeah, I hold to my statement. She's just in the wrong show. Her personality just doesn't even match in this show. But I do love seeing her on screen. Like, one of my friends that's also watching this show with me does not really care to see her on screen much because she doesn't really do much anything. But I love seeing Sumi. It's just, I know that she's in the wrong element here. And she couldn't be with a worse person, so, yeah. Aww. She did, and I'll give her that much credit. She did prep very hard for the day, and we saw that she was prepping in the last episode. Oh, wow. You offered a seat and didn't actually stumble on your words? You were able to get through a full sentence? My goodness. Good job. She is an absolute cutie that you don't deserve to be with. I don't think I've seen him get through any sentences on any dates without stumbling on his words. I'm amazed. Because of the splash zone. Yeah. Yeah, did you forget these type of things, man? Yeah. I hope it smacks you in the head. Look at him being somewhat decent for the occasion. I mean, everything makes him cry, quite frankly. Oh. Whoa! Yep, done. It'd be like that at these type of things. Alright, that's just intentional now. What an ass. Yes. I didn't see anything either, so just... Why are you apologizing, my girl? You said several decent sentences in a row. Good job. Don't do that, Sumi. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Sumi, don't do that. I don't need you doing that. Please. Oh. No, I knew what you were saying. Please, Sumi. No. That is absolutely not what she meant. Sumi, please don't crush on this man. There's no reason for you to crush on this man. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Sumi. She looks adorable in every outfit she's in. Yes, and it can't end any sooner because the longer this goes, the more worried I get. Oh. And now Awkward Kazi is back. Yes, she did! And it's... Oh my god. No, I just want you to shut up now. Only this man. You find a way to just make this awkward in your brain. She's just trying to give you a damn gift. This girl... You don't deserve none of these girls, quite frankly. I will say, I really do hope Sumi will get some real help though to kind of help her get through this. That isn't Kazuya, so because he's just not a good person to be counseling somebody. But Sumi definitely needs to get some help through this, which I think she will eventually. Like obviously, he's the most decent to Sumi when he's around Sumi than he is anybody else. But still, he's not the person to help her get through this. He's extremely good. And I love Sumi. I really do. Not the right show, but I love her. And you're still the one being led on because you can't make no decisions yourself, so I'm glad that she took charge. You're going to realize you're the only one still stuck in place. Exactly. Oh, were you about to tell her what she's going through, what she's going through? Yeah, that's more appropriate for her to say. However, now that's turned his back awkward again. Please don't do that. Please don't touch her. Yes, thank you, please. Excuse me? Then just talk. I mean, just have a casual talk with her about how the day went and stuff like that. Oh. Man, I think Sumi's gonna easily put that together though, because there's only so many friends that you would have, let alone one that you know is going through something like this. And in fairness, that is what we're all feeling right now. And there's no way Sumi doesn't realize that he's talking about Chizuru. No way. And this was a subject that me and my friend were talking about earlier. Everything that was just said out of his mouth. That the fact that literally she has no one. And she can't even trust on the one guy she's trying to open up to because he always makes everything awkward. Aww. And now waterfalls. Well, at least that was a decent sequence. That could have went much worse. Now you were saying something decent. Have you now? Oh, I can't wait to see what you do for her. I can't wait. And hope it doesn't end in a complete disaster with you going back on whatever it is you're gonna do. Alright. I have a couple thoughts, guys. I'm gonna wait till this is done running and I guess I'll say what I need to say here. You are absolutely wonderful. Girlfriend and Me. Girlfriend and Me is the final episode. Okay. So, we have completed episode 11, and with its completion, we are now in pre-finale territory. So, my thoughts. And I guess I'll just say pre-thoughts, which will kind of resonate with my thoughts that I've had throughout the duration of this season. Was there incredibly marginal improvement in Kazuya in this episode? Yes, there was. And there typically tends to be, because unlike the other three girls, Sumi, being that she's kind of out of place in this entire universe with her personality, her love, her care, how she is, her ability, her speech issue and stuff like that. Yes, he typically has to somewhat be more decent with her because of the fact that she is really fighting a big fight right now that, like I said in the reaction, it's a fight that I really hope that she gets actual proper help for to get through, because there's definitely a lot of room there. And the only reason why I say that I don't feel Kazuya is the best person is because Kazuya has so many deeply rooted issues of his own that, yes, it is true that two people with deeply rooted issues or problems can help each other through it, but because she's such a different being of existence compared to him and what he thinks, and as we all see what his mind goes through episode by episode, I just will never feel that it's a good match for those two to be with each other. Now, again, it was very clear that she was admitting that she is crushing on Kazuya. This was my biggest fear. This is something that I'm not happy about, something I will never support, and something that I need my girl to stop really quickly. I think that Sumi is a bundle of joy. Unlike what my friend earlier said, I do enjoy seeing Sumi on screen, and I do believe, similar to what Mommy does in her own ways and what, of course, my best girl does in her own ways, that Sumi brings some level of calmness before the storm and a bit of normality amongst other things. And it's because we have to sit here and watch the suffering of Chizuru so much, and we have to watch my girl Ruka throw her entire ability of love and all away on someone who's just not worth it. And so when we go through all this, and then of course through Mommy's antics, sometimes it's nice to just be able to slow it down and just bring someone like Sumi on board to just kind of reset everything in ways. So I talk about how Mommy is the catalyst that makes the plot move forward, and then Sumi would definitely be the one who is kind of the reset button of sorts, because she has such an issue of her own with her ability of speaking to other people and her confidence in herself that we really do have to shift gears to be able to deal with her. But again, that is where any accolades that I will give to Kazuya will end, because again, there were various periods during this episode that, again, it just becomes incredibly insufferable and hard to deal with him because he already understands who she is. And being all the experience that he's now had with dealing with Ruka and dealing with Chizuru and even having to deal with Mommy, I would feel by this stage in the game that he would at least be a little more prone to just being somewhat normal and decent. Now, obviously, as the aquarium date went along and the dolphin show happened and everything, he did marginally show layers of improvement, and that was good, and that's nice to say compared to how he's acted in every other episode this season. And so I will say, compared to other episodes, this episode was not awful, but the fact still remains, at this present moment, the show fails. The show is still sitting at a 5. Is it possible that it can squeeze a 6 out depending how things go next week? I will not take it off the table. There is a 25% chance that the show will squeeze a 6 out of me, depending if he actually is decent to Chizuru and whatever idea he's come up with that he's about to do for her in our season finale. But just like I said last episode, in the 10th episode after the Ruka situation and her grandma situation, if he finds a way to ruin whatever his plan is in this final episode, and he does something similar to his antics at the end of episode 12 in the first season, if he tries to go in on a plan and says he's going to help her and support her and whatever this, and then he bails on that statement, the show will at minimum get a 5, and it could be subjected to a lower score, possibly a 4, depending on how bad it is. Now, I want to go into this next episode thinking that him having this realization of what he needs to do, of what he can do for her, of how he can be there for Chizuru. I want to again hope and pray with all of my anime soul that he means that, and that he's actually going to do something that will help her cheer up, and that he will actually be a decent human being to her at the end of the episode. I truly do hope this. I truly do hope, because if he is able to do that, then despite all of my frustration that I have with him, with his personality and his demeanor and his lack of maturity and his lack of really understanding of being able to read a room or anything, at least that will show me that in some way, shape, or form, watching this season had some level of benefit at the end. And above all, what I truly want to see above anything else is for Chizuru to actually be able to catch a damn break. For him to actually do something decent that will have her be like, well, damn. And just to not have to stress about him making things awkward or him taking things completely out of context and making a situation more worse than it actually needs to be. So that's where we're at, guys. 25% chance that the show gets a 6 at the end of the season, a 50% chance that the show gets a 5 at the end of the season, and a 25% chance that the show gets a lower score, potentially a 4. It probably won't be any lower than that, but it really depends on Kazuya now, guys. So with that said, it has been a journey to this stage, and this is it. And I don't really know if I enjoyed watching this season or not. I can definitely say that being a Team Ruka fan, this season was an absolute treat and a joy to watch. But that alone, as much as I love Ruka, can't really be the final factor on if this show passes or fails. And it really does come down to the root of how this final interaction between Kazuya and Chizuru is going to be. And so all we can do now is wait and see each other next week. So that is it, guys. We have made it to the end. Next week, September 17th, is our finale of Rent-A-Girlfriend, and the title of the 12th episode of the second season, or the 24th episode of this entire show, will be Girlfriend and Me. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy the reaction and enjoyed the episode for what it was worth. If you did like the reaction in the episode, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. And if you want to be one of the first to be notified when a new reaction becomes available, hit the bell icon. So I will see all of you lovely people next week for the finale. And actually, it says September 17th here. I think the dates are one day off. It's going to be September 16th. That's not possible. So I will see all of you guys on September 16th for the season finale of the second season of Rent-A-Girlfriend. And until that time, catch you later.